So to start off with the presentation, subscriber Cisco enrolls Jonathan as a Category 3. Jonathan writes up his own paperwork. At the time of the enrollment, he schedules the strategy session to be held within 48 hours. So Cisco is scheduling a strategy session with Jonathan. Okay, then Cisco immediately sends the homework to Jonathan from the Make Green system. So Cisco would log in, and off the new dashboard, he would send the homework to Jonathan. Okay, Jonathan's indirectly added as a contact to make sure that he gets access on this page that Jonathan lands on in the email that goes to him. Okay, so Jonathan receives the email and enters his email address to view the homework. Clicks login. Jonathan's greeted with this page, getting started homework. Okay. Once Jonathan completes the homework, he will land on a thank you page that says, thank you, get prepared for your 48-hour strategy session. The system at this time notifies Cisco that Jonathan completed the homework, and also the system enrolls Ed, who's Cisco's enroller. He gets a notification that Jonathan completed the homework, so he can call Cisco and make sure everything's all good. Keeps Ed in the loop in this scenario. The next step is right before the 48-hour follow-up strategy session. Cisco uses the Make Green system to send the Path to Director course to Jonathan minutes before their call so that they can walk through it together. Okay? Jonathan's going to land on this page from that email. So when he clicks from that 48-hour, from that Path to Director email, he's going to land on this page. It's going to give him the option at the top to log in if he's been here before. In this case, he hasn't, so he's going to be able to register for the Path to Director course for free. This is the page that creates him as a member guest. So Jonathan lands on the Path to Director page where Cisco tells him to register for free, the course, for the free course, and gets access to follow along with Cisco for the Path to Director. So this is all at the 48-hour follow-up here. This is a new design that we came up with. We wanted this Path to Director page to look like the back office because this is what happens. This is what the member guest sees. So Jonathan gets access to view the accelerated Path to Director with Cisco leading him through it. He also gets an indirect look at what is to come from the subscription, but it's grayed out and it's clear that he needs to subscribe to unlock access to those features. So we're going to gray out the ability to send the Path to Director course, and so he can only view it on this page. He can't send it, as well as any of these buttons that he also might want to click on are grayed out because he doesn't have access to the contact manager and the other features yet. These actions, clicking on these actions will result in the benefits page showing that includes all the benefits of the system and the university. The next step is the 48-hour follow-up. Cisco enrolls Jonathan with a PaceSetter pack. Cisco works through the Path to Director with Jonathan and books 2 of them times that are good for both Jonathan and Cisco. They block out availability for one-on-ones and book their in-homes and familiarize Jonathan with the webinar schedule. Jonathan then starts making calls to set up some appointments. Jonathan just needs to let Cisco know the one-on-one appointment times that he has set up. The next step is Cisco presents because Jonathan's not yet a presenter, and Jonathan, the newbie, enrolls Bob. At this point, Bob writes up his own paperwork with the help of Jonathan, and Cisco oversees the process. Okay, so after Jonathan and Cisco oversee the process of Bob writing up his paperwork. At that time of the enrollment, Cisco and Jonathan scheduled a strategy session to be held within 48 hours with Bob. So this is going to be Jonathan sort of tagging along with Cisco to find out how it's done. Okay, so Cisco immediately shows Jonathan how to log into to log back into the member guest area like he was before. And this time he's going to send the homework to Bob from the Make Green member guest area. So much like Cisco would have done it in the first step, Cisco is going to teach Jonathan how to do this process to get him on the right track to duplicating his efforts. As you'll notice, he still has these options are grayed out because he's not yet a subscriber of the Make Green system. The next step is Bob's going to receive that email, and he's going to enter his email address to access the homework assignment. And there's the homework assignment right there. Bob's going to view the homework and complete it by clicking the button at the bottom of the page. Bob's then also going to be sent to that thank you page that says, prepare for your 48-hour follow-up or your 48-hour strategy session. Again, the system's going to notify Jonathan this time that Bob has completed the homework, and Jonathan's enroller, Cisco, gets a notification that Bob completed the homework as well to make sure that Cisco stays in the loop the whole time. The next step is for Cisco, because he's a subscriber to the system and has access to be able to send a Path to Director course. He logs in and sends the 48-hour strategy session to Bob minutes before the call, the 48-hour follow-up that they're going to walk through together. So at this point, Cisco calls up, at this point, Cisco calls up Jonathan, and the three of them, or Jonathan and Cisco, do a three-way call over to Bob, and they walk him through this process. Bob's going to click on his email that he got from Cisco minutes before the 48-hour follow-up, and then they're going to show him how to register on this page as part of the 48-hour follow-up strategy session. Okay, then below that, right after Bob registers, it's automatically going to log him into this page. So now he's logged in as a member guest, and you'll notice he now has the same access level as Jonathan, which is the Path to Director course, which he can view only, and the ability to send it is grayed out. And it says right there, subscribe to unlock access, as well as these are all grayed out as well, and he only has access to be able to send a homework assignment. Okay. So we're going to scroll down. Bob gets, I'm just going to review this. Bob gets access to view the accelerated Path to Director with Cisco leading him through it. He also gets an indirect look at what's to come from the subscription, but it's grayed out, and it's clear that he needs to subscribe to get those features unlocked. One thing that I forgot to copy over here is if they click on this, it brings them to the benefits page, which should be right here. The next step is obviously the 48-hour follow-up happens as part of this process. The Pacesetter pack is sold from Cisco to Bob, and Cisco works through the Path to Director, that whole process with Bob and Jonathan being on the line. Right after that, Bob starts making calls, and Bob just needs to let Cisco know about the one-on-one times appointments that he set up in his approaches. And the next step is the cycle continuing. Bob, the newbie, enrolls Jimmy. Jimmy writes up his paperwork, and take note that Cisco did the presentation again for Bob's new enrollment, Jimmy. And then the cycle continues.